Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'll be your host for today, Mr. Sin. I'm going to make a review about the Asrto C40TR controller, one of the best controllers I've ever played with in my life. Before I do, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a gamer. I've been gaming since I was 5 years old. I've played pretty much every console there is to play. I've owned pretty much every console there is to play, and I will be a gamer forever. I stream on Twitch. I make YouTube videos, mostly clips of me sniping or whatever, but with that being said, I'm nowhere near a pro, so I'm going to cut this video like all in one take here. I don't know how to edit it, I'm not a graphic designer and all that stuff. I'm just a common guy who is very passionate about gaming. So with that being said, let's get into the Asrto C40TR controller, which is this bad boy right here, bro. This one right here. First thing I want to talk about, the packaging. It was a great marketing scheme. The box and everything with layout. Came with a travel case. I'll show you that a little later. Next thing I want to talk about, the PlayStation licensed controller. Excuse me, PlayStation's licensed controller. I'm a really big fan of that because I'm a really big fan of PlayStation. It's kind of like all I play on now. I do have a Nintendo Switch, but I pretty much play on the PlayStation. The only thing though, this controller cannot turn on your PlayStation with the PlayStation button. It has a PlayStation button, but it cannot turn on your PlayStation with the PlayStation button. For me, I'm not really bothered by that because the way I have my whole little setup here, I could literally, it's that far away for the on button for the PlayStation, right? So that really doesn't bother me that it doesn't turn on the PlayStation with the PlayStation button. Okay, next thing I want to talk about, the overall feel of this controller. Okay, it is built very well. The feel of it is like a nice material, like a nice matte black material. Okay, it's nice and smooth. It feels very, very comfortable in my hands. Okay, so as you can see, I have played with the PlayStation loadout, right? Parallel. When I hold my hands like this, I have my thumbs on the joysticks. I have my middle fingers on the 2 rear buttons, and I'm ready to shoot and throw my grenades. So the overall comfortability for this controller, for me, is actually perfect. It has some weight to it, which I like. I like a more beefy controller as opposed to a lighter controller. So the comfortability for me with this controller is phenomenal. It feels great in my hands. Okay. Now let's talk about what's inside the travel case. Okay. What's inside the travel case? I have it right here. I already have it open. Okay. This is what's inside the travel case. Okay, you have a micro USB if you want to play with it wired. You have replaceable thumbsticks. You have concave, convex, elongated, and normal. Okay, me personally, I like elongated for R3 and normal convexed for L3. It has a screwdriver to take off the faceplate. I'll show you that in a little bit. It has a USB dongle. I mean, I know it's 2019, but this dongle is specific for the Asrto C40TR controller. It's made by Logitech because Logitech owns Asrto. 2.4 gigahertz speeds, which will give you even more low latency, which Bluetooth runs on basically the same thing. But this is better than Bluetooth because it is particularly made for the Asrto 40 TR controller. This dongle, if you want to play it wireless. See what I do, if I'm playing competitively, I'll play with it wired. If I'm just relaxing, like doing a raid with Destiny, I'll plug this in and just sit back and just do regular stuff. But I exclusively basically use this controller now. So that's what's in the travel case. The travel case itself is awesome, as you can see. It has a nice material, and this is where I put it when I'm done with it. So I like what they did with that. You know, so this way it doesn't get dusty. It's safe in your thing. You know, if something spills, whatever, it's safe. Okay. Now, this key, this little screwdriver key, is what I was going to tell you about. Okay. It's very easy to use. There's 4 screws here. Okay, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4. See the screws right here? Okay. So all that you need to do with this is for switching out the modules. Okay. I will show you real quick. I will unscrew these screws. It literally takes 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I'm done. So yeah, let's take off this faceplate. I'll show you. I want to show you something that I really like about this controller, as well as everything else with it. Okay, so I took off the faceplate. That's how easy it was. You can see the screws. Now, what I like about this is when you take off the faceplate, don't worry about losing the screws. Okay, the screws have their own little clips, so the screws ain't coming out. You're safe. Okay. So here's what it looks like with the faceplate off. There you go. It's simple. You literally just pop it right out. Okay, like, literally pop that right out, and you can go with the Xbox layout or PlayStation layout. Now, another thing what I like about this controller is there are indicators to put the sticks back the right way. Okay, there's a little red line, and always put that little red line facing you. And there's a little red line here. You just line up the red lines. Okay, pops right back into place, no problem. Okay, put it right back on. The screws baked up. Look at that, screws lined up perfectly, all on its own. So that's why, another reason why I love this controller, right? Because you can swap out the modules. You can go between an Xbox layout, a PlayStation layout. You can even have L3, R3 on the same side. I don't know why you would do that, but you can do that if you want to. With the Scuff Vantage, you cannot swap them out. You're stuck with the Xbox layout. That's another reason why I didn't get that controller, because like I said, I'm a PlayStation fan, not an Xbox fan. I did like the sound bar on that. This doesn't have a sound bar, but I think it has something better than a sound bar. I'll get into that in a little bit. So I mean, yeah, that's basically how you unscrew the faceplate, and this is so very simple. Even the instructions that come with this, it's like I could pull it out of the box, but you know, it's fine. The construction page is like that big, and it's so, if you can read, you can understand this controller. Like, that's how simple they made this controller to function for you. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, the mapping of the buttons. Okay, the reason why you bought this is to be competitive and to do stuff with the buttons, right? This button back here, if you want to do mapping on the fly, okay, you press and hold that little button for about 3 to 5 seconds. You'll see it light up and feel it rumble. Okay, select what back button you want, the right side or left side. Press it. Okay, then what you do, you press whatever else button you want to be mapped to, and then you press that button. It's literally that simple. And if you want to do the other button, like I said, you press and hold this in. You press this button 3 seconds, it'll light up and rumble, and then you press one of the other buttons to map it to that button. Very, very simple. With the software, what you do is you take the micro USB, you plug the USB inside your computer, you plug the other end into here. It'll bring up, well, first you have to download the software. It'll bring up the controller, and it'll show you all these settings. You know, one side I have what the buttons are, on the other side what it's mapped to. Then you can literally map any button to anything. You can take square and make it left on a D-pad. You could take triangle and make it L3 inside the software. But on the fly, you can only do these 2 buttons, which is fine for me. To me, that's perfect, man. Speaking of wired mode, what I like, you see that? It's where you plug it in, the USB, okay? What I like about that is there's like this little, encaved spot right here. You plug it in. So this way, like, okay, if your regular PS4 controller, okay, if that's, dying, you got to plug it in. And what that does is it brings stress to the clip, because when you plug it in right here, obviously everybody knows where it's plugged in. It causes stress on the clip, okay, and then that can break off. It can become loose. It won't charge anymore. The reason why they have this hole is when you plug it in, it gives all the tension right here and not on the clip. So it's like safe to use when wired, okay? What else we got here? Let's see. Man, this controller is awesome, man. Let me tell you. If you guys got $200, I suggest you guys buy this controller, man. Next thing I want to talk about is what I've been hearing a lot lately, or been asked about by my friends who are maybe looking to get this controller, is the L3 and R3 tension. Now, on the regular PlayStation controllers, the tension, you are used to the tension, obviously, if you've been playing with the controllers. This tension, I feel like it's the same. Like, I don't really notice a difference, but inside the software you can control the sensitivity of because inside a game you can control the sensitivity of how you move, right? In the software you can also control the sensitivity of the sticks. Even though they don't have the same tension as the PlayStation 4 controllers, you can still control the sensitivity of that, so it's fine. So getting back to what I said, this doesn't have a sound bar like the PlayStation Vantage, Scuff Vantage. It doesn't have a sound bar. But what this does have is a built-in equalizer to make your hearing experience even that much better. Now, I use Asrto A10s. Yeah, they're only A10s, but they're still great. They're Zelda edition, okay? Yeah, you can go inside the software, make your headset even more better. Especially, I have it paired with an Asrto headset. The sound is phenomenal. But there's a built-in equalizer in this controller, people. You have an equalizer in your controller. Okay? So, comfortable in my hands. Is it really? Yes, it is very, very comfortable. I never want to put this thing down, man. I never want to put it down ever again. I'm going to play with it forever. And, ooh, that's what I want to talk about. Hair triggers. Bing. This thing has hair triggers. So you could be faster on the trigger, okay? All right, so the hair trigger buttons are right there. Okay, they don't have a little thing like the Vantage has that when you press down on it, that little, clip that goes right there, that will break over time. Trust me, it will break. But not this. All it is a flip of the switch and a flip of the switch. So both of them have hair triggers. If you want to aim and shoot, obviously this is my aim and this is my shoot. Quicker on the trigger. Now, in some games, like racing games, and if you put on the trigger stop, you won't go because it's a racing game. Or if you're noticing like your button won't shoot with the trigger stop on, simple fix. You're like, oh man, I have the trigger stop on, but I just can't shoot my weapon. Oh, this trigger stop is BS. No, it's not. It's perfectly okay. Calm down. I'm here with you. Put it in wired mode. Okay. Wired mode is right here. Wireless. Wired and wireless. Wired, wireless. So there's two modes. Wired and wireless. Okay. Put it in wired mode. Plug it into your computer. Bring up the software. Go to the settings. Bring up the triggers. Okay. Put the trigger stops on. While the trigger stops are on, these only go down 40% when they're on. So you are 60% faster. Yes, there's a little math involved. If these only go down, people say they go down halfway. They do not go down halfway. They go down 40%, not 50, 40. So that means you're even faster. You are 60% faster than your opponent. That's fast, bro. That's Sonic fast. Anyway, I'm sorry. Plug it in, you go to the software, go to settings, go to the triggers. There's going to be a sensitivity bar. Make sure whatever button, like your shoot button, bring that all the way up to 100. You'll see what I'm talking about. Go to the triggers. There's like this little graph bar. Put the right R2 all the way up to 100, and save your setting, and it will think like the trigger stop isn't on, but it really is on, and everything will be beautiful. Trust me, it's a-okay, because Asrto is one hell of a company. No problem. One hell of a company, you know. And another thing I like about this controller I want to talk about is two profiles. Okay, what I mean by that is this right here, this button right here, profile 1 and profile 2. Now inside the software, on the left side is profile 1, the left side is profile 2. So while you're in the software, if you want to do it on the software, you have the option to map a profile of your buttons to any button you want. And once you save it, okay, that's profile 1. Me, I like to jump, and this is my square, so this way I can aim and shoot while I'm getting my teammates res. Okay, very, very simple. And say I'm playing a fighting game, or say Grand Theft Auto, and I have a different loadout for that. It's simple. I don't have to go in and change. If I change a game, you go to boop, profile number 2. It's simple, very, very simple. That's another thing about it. You have two profiles for, like, you know, shooting games versus MMOs, RPGs. You know, if I'm playing Destiny or Call of Duty Blackout, Fortnite, and then I'm like, you know what? I just want to calm down. I want to play The Witcher 3. Okay, let me put on profile 2 that I have on for The Witcher 3. It's beautiful, folks. Let me tell you. And a lot of things people talk about too with pro controllers like this is stick drift. That's what I hear, like, people asking me, what about stick drift? Okay, I haven't experienced any stick drift with this controller yet. I haven't. Knock on wood. Haven't experienced it, but easy fix. Now, if you experience stick drift, for those of you who don't know what stick drift is, it's when you're standing there and your guy's just moving without you even touching the controller. Okay, that's stick drift. You're like, oh my god, it's broken. Nope, not at all. Remember the mapping button? Remember that? Press and hold it for 3 seconds. It'll light up and blink and do its thing, right? Then you press and hold this button again. It'll light up, you know, rumble, do its thing. That's it. Stick drift is fixed. If you want to check it, if it worked, plug it in, go to wired mode, go to the software, go to the sticks, and you'll see no lit up on the graphs. Everything is fine. It's so very fixable. This controller, so it does everything itself. It has a mind of its own, you know. And I'm thinking about giving it a name. What do you think I should name it? What else here? To reset the whole controller, though, there is a reset on this whole entire controller to factory reset. Now, it's a little tiny, teeny little hole right underneath the mapping button. Like, I'm assuming you need like a, you know, like a paper clip or something like that. Like, if you just want to reset your whole controller back to factory, stick it in there, press and hold it for like 20 or 30 seconds for that one, and it'll go back to the factory reset. So, what do you, also to the L3 and R3, another thing I like that is awesome about this controller, if your L3 and R3 happen to break, okay, it's not a stick drift issue, it's just a faulty thing after playing with it for so many months and hours of awesome gameplay with this controller. If your sticks break, okay, you can take it out, contact Asrto, and they will send you another stick. You don't have to spend $200 again on a controller. You spend like 20 bucks on a stick, and there you go. It's fixed for 20 bucks, no problem, bro. You know what I mean? Oh man. So let's what else the grips. See, it doesn't have too much grips, but I think the grips are perfect. See these grooves? That's all like the grips that it has. But I mean, it's fine. I don't ever feel like this controller is gonna like slip out of my hand at any point. So it having not crazy grips is okay, because I actually like to feel this matte black here on it. So, and the rumblers. In the Scuff Vantage, what you could do is you could lift it up, you could take out the rumblers, but then to me, like, that'll leave the controller lighter, right? You cannot take out the rumblers in this controller. In the Asrto C40TR, you cannot take out the rumblers. But for me, that's fine because I like a heftier controller, remember? But what you can do if you don't want the annoying rumble when you're getting shot in your face, go to the software, go down to like effects, I think it is, and you can shut the rumblers off. It's that simple. And that's for profile 1. If you want them on for profile 2, you can have them on for profile 2. And if you want them off for profile 1, you can have them. It is so astonishing, man. Let me tell you, this controller is just... It's one of the best decisions I've ever made. Okay, I know that PS5 is coming out and it's only a year and a half left for PlayStation 4, but this is 2019. We're going to be in 2020 in no time. Do you really think they're not going to come up with a firmware update for the PlayStation 5 for this controller? Come on, man. Of course they are, bro. And I'm pretty sure that they're going to have fancy stuff to come up with to customize your controller, right? Now, did I miss anything in this video that I want to talk about with this controller? I don't think I did. Let's see. So, mappable buttons. Great port so the clip doesn't break. The screws never come off when you take off the faceplate. The tension feels great. I like how, you know, all the buttons be clicking. I do like that a lot. Trigger stops, and if you're having power with the trigger stops, go to the software, raise the bar to them, and no problem, you're 60% faster than your opponent. Mapping on the fly, the two profiles, and yeah, I mean, basically, so my overall opinion is get this controller. If you have $200 and you're like on the fence about it, and you're like me who spent 2 weeks researching this, research, what was the best? And I chose the Asrto C40, and I am not disappointed. And this is my unbiased opinion. I am no way, shape, or form sponsored by anybody, let alone Asrto, to make this video. So, I mean, I'm just making a video for anybody wondering and still on the fence, like your average gamer, like not an average gamer, average streamer like me. Get it, bro. It'll make your gameplay better. I'm faster on the trigger. I do feel more accurate with it, and to me, it is my love. The Asrto C40TR controller, ladies and gentlemen. The best thing on the market. Get it now while it's hot. And if you like, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want, man. If you felt like this video was informative, drop me a like. If you want to subscribe and see some more awesome content, I stream mostly every day on Twitch. I'll link that in the description below. But yeah, I play first-person shooters and, you know, sometimes some adventure games, MMORPG and stuff like that. But mostly first-person shooters. So with that being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you are looking to get this and you're still wondering, just go ahead and get it. Just do it. All right. Until then, be safe, guys.